Geno drops. He wants to throw. Geno fires toward the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia. The timing pattern in the end zone has the man pass. Caught. Touchdown. Geno Smith absolutely lofted up. Picture perfect pass.
He is good, and with the career Geno Smith has had at West Virginia, he seems to have years of football ahead of him. But what if he decided not to ever have played football at all? It could have been that way, as Geno and his family were faced with the decision of football or art. Although football won out, it wasn't before art had a profound impact on the career path he chose.
When doing art, it's very important that you don't try and create the entire piece, with one stroke. You have to make sure that each stroke has its own life and each stroke comes together to create an entire piece.
In some ways, the path Geno Smith has taken is a work of art. Made up of many different strokes, he is a football player, a student, a Heisman hopeful, and an artist. Over the years, those sides, the athletic and the artistic, have clashed, begging the question, which way to turn? Raised in Miami, Geno's parents realized from an early age his affinity for the arts.
He was actually in elementary school when I recognized his artistic side. And then he had some great teachers that actually helped him explore all the different types of art.
To be a good artist, it takes a lot of patience and precision. In middle school, we did a lot of still lifes, and it was kind of hard for me to make it look 3D. It would always look flat. But then I got into shading, and then I got into painting, and I realized, I can make things come into life on a page.
His prowess with a pencil was only surpassed by his athleticism.
I remember our first game. I called the first play, it was called low right. 50 yards later, first play, he just took it for a touchdown. And from that point on, I knew that he was a special kid.
When Geno was 8 years old, his father moved to Tallahassee to pursue a college degree. Geno's mother relied on her brother Antoine to help her raise her son.
Geno needed pretty much a father figure. Then Antoine stepped in and he did a wonderful job. It was almost like, it was his child.
But while Geno's uncle made sports a priority, his mom was more concerned with school.
Me and my brother, we went toe to toe many of times because he said, Geno has to be here to play this game. He has to be here. And I'm saying, but he has homework. He has a project that he has to complete.
She was more into, the academic side, but, we always had, agreement that, look, as long as he's getting his schoolwork, football is always going to be there for him.
I didn't buy into the sports right away, but my brother saw something that I could not see at that time.
What was easy to see was Geno's artistic ability. Years before he received a football scholarship to college, he had to decide whether he would attend high school for football or art.
I didn't know how the sport was going to play out for him. Whatever he did as a little league player, that was not a guarantee into college.
Whatever you want to be, just be. Because football was his dream and he wanted to do it, he loves it so much. He just put football number one and say, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
They said to me, you have to allow him, to do what he wants to do. And the decision became his. It wasn't mine, it wasn't his uncle, it wasn't his dad. It was Geno's decision.
I just, enjoyed to draw and enjoyed to kind of, make things with my hands. But my first love was always football. If it comes down to it, football and art, I'm choosing football all day.
It is said that life imitates art. As it turns out, Geno's art has had an impact on his football.
He can sit there and doodle and, create these all artistic drawings, and then when he's out on the field and the play breaks down, he's very good at just getting out of the pocket and creating his own masterpiece out there.
A lot of things with art are equivalent to football. Patience and precision is something that's very important, it's very vital, and that's also one of the keys to being a great quarterback.
Last season, Geno shattered school records, threw for over 4,000 yards, and was named the Orange Bowl MVP. His mother is finally convinced her son made the right choice.
I asked him the question, I said, what would you do if you didn't make it in football? And he stood up to me so firmly. He said, there isn't an if. For me, it's nothing else to ask. I know what he wants. I know what his heart desires. So I just want to see him have everything that he wants out of this masterpiece. And if I can hang that masterpiece on my wall, what he sees in his head, that'll be a really expensive piece. One of a kind.
Amazing stuff. It makes you wonder, BJ, if Geno Smith's the one drawing up those plays in Morgantown.
No, I think it's Dana Holgerson, but trust me, they're in tune with each other. But it was something interesting he said, you don't draw a piece with one stroke. And that's something these young quarterbacks have to learn. You can't, win a ball game with just one pass. Take what the defense is giving you sometimes. And so that's a great lesson for young quarterback. But here's a guy